We just got some new information on Grand Theft Auto 6 coming from one of the biggest gaming journalists in the world, Jason Schreier. We'll be talking about all that he wrote in his article in this video today and a whole lot more. So Bloomberg's Jason Schreier published another report on Grand Theft Auto 6, and over the past few years, the accomplished journalist has shared accurate information about the game ahead of its reveal with Trailer 1 last year. He also correctly reported that the game would feature a man and a woman as the protagonists set in Vice City, and he was also right about when the first GTA 6 trailer would release. And since trailer number 1, Rockstar have obviously remained pretty tight-lipped, and there's been nothing really interesting to report on. Jason has chimed in on social media and even written a few articles sort of reporting on certain rumors about whether or not the game would be delayed or not. But this is really his first big article and really the first time he's spoken about Grand Theft Auto 6 publicly since his initial reportings before the trailer came out. So this is the article on Bloomberg. Grand Theft Auto 6 will rule the video game industry in 2025. Expectations are dangerously high for the first GTA in more than a decade. So the article goes on to say Grand Theft Auto 6 isn't just going to be the biggest video game of 2025, it'll almost certainly be the biggest game of the decade and possibly the most lucrative entertainment product of all time. The article then goes to sort of talk about the history of Grand Theft Auto, a little bit about what Rockstar Games has done over the last decade, some things that have led up to Grand Theft Auto 6's announcement, like the 2022 hack, forcing Rockstar Games to shut down the office, return to work at the office 5 days a week. And so I'm going to pick up about halfway through the article where I think the information gets a little bit interesting. He goes on to say Rockstar Games, a subsidiary of Take-Two Interactive Software Inc., has revealed little about Grand Theft Auto 6 other than a fall 2025 release date. Since the announcement of a teaser trailer for the game in late 2023, shares of the parent company have risen more than 30%. The trailer, which has topped 200 million views on YouTube, shows the game is set in a fictional version of Miami. Bloomberg News has reported that GTA 6 will star a pair of playable characters, a man and a woman inspired by the criminal duo Bonnie and Clyde, and that Rockstar is asking its writers to be less crude towards transgender people and other minorities, the common target of throwaway gags in previous versions. Grand Theft Auto 6 has already missed multiple deadlines, a common practice at Rockstar, but Take-Two says it's now on track. Sales of the game, which will likely be astronomical, won't tell you the whole story. The title will feature a significant online mode, selling in-game content designed to generate revenue for years into the future. That's how Take-Two Interactive kept GTA 5 going for more than a decade. Anticipation is so high that some competing game developers are waiting as long as possible to commit to their release date for the fall. And according to people familiar with their deliberations who asked not to be identified because they weren't authorized to speak publicly, the publishers want to see whether GTA 6 will make its deadline or slip into 2026. These people say, and they're determined to keep their own games far, far away. So that right there is the article, and even though there isn't some crazy, juicy details about the plot, the story, the map, or the inside workings of Grand Theft Auto 6, we do get some interesting details here. So let's recap as they sort of went in order. I think the first and possibly even the biggest and most controversial news of the bunch is that Rockstar is asking its writers to be less crude towards transgender people and other minorities, which Bloomberg says are the common targets of throwaway gags in previous versions. And what he's talking about there is essentially the jokes that have been made in previous Grand Theft Auto games, GTA 5, Grand Theft Auto 4, Vice City, GTA San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto 3. I mean, you can go all the way back to the beginning. And I think as an overall, this has fans a little bit worried that Rockstar might be going woke, or they might be having to dumb down the things that have made their Grand Theft Auto games so successful and so popular, their style of writing, the level of humor that they introduce into these games. And just on what we've seen in the GTA 6 trailer so far, I think there's plenty that are going to keep fans occupied, entertained. The crudeness of the jokes, I believe, are still going to be there. And just like the world is a different place here in 2024, much so than it was in 2004, 2014, you could honestly say the same about Rockstar Games. They might be different than they were in 2004 and 2014. So we might see some different types of jokes and humor being made, but I still don't think it's going to take away from the classic Rockstar Games humor. The next thing they go on to mention is that GTA 6 has already missed multiple deadlines, and if you read all the reports, that is definitely true. I know at a time, even probably before COVID, they were targeting the game to already be out by now, if not for several months. And we also know that it was at least internally delayed because it was supposed to come out calendar year 2025. That has now been delayed into fall 2025. And we kind of knew this was going to be the case because you can draw conclusions from Take-Two Interactive's financials because they heavily adjusted their projected income for the current fiscal years downwards twice in a row. Remember, they went from 8 billion to 7 billion to then 5.6 billion. And that'll probably spike in the months and years after Grand Theft Auto 6 is released, but that of course hasn't been reported on. I think we'll find out if there is going to be another drop or another spike in May of 2025. Hopefully by then we have more information on when the game is going to be coming out, and we won't have to wait for a Take-Two Interactive financial report to get more details on that. But honestly, there could be other factors too, like the 2022 leaks. We don't know how big of an impact that had. COVID, we don't know how big of an impact that ended up having either. But we do get a little bit of good news, as they say Take-Two says it is now on track. And I don't know if that's exclusive insider information or just taking what they've said on the earnings calls that they keep doubling down on the fall 2025 release date. I'm not really too sure what to make of that last bit, but at least as things currently stand and what they're stating, the game is on track for fall 2025. And we also know that the title is going to feature a significant online multiplayer mode, whether it's GTA 6 Online, Grand Theft Auto Online 2, and we also know that it's going to have in-game content that can be sold, microtransactions, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's some elevated version of what we see right now, whether that be shark cards or whether that be some version of a battle pass, certain cosmetics that our players can have. I certainly don't want the next version of Grand Theft Auto Online to become pay to win, but it should be no surprise given how Rockstar deems the success of shark cards in Grand Theft Auto 5 that they will be returning in Grand Theft Auto 6. And then the last bit of news that the article gives us, and this really shouldn't come as a surprise either, is that other game developers and publishers want nothing to do with Grand Theft Auto 6 whenever the game releases, and they are anxiously avoiding releasing their games and even giving out release dates because they know that they don't want to put out that game when Grand Theft Auto 6 is there. Because everyone, their mom and their dog, they're going to be playing that game, and they're not going to be playing anything else for a couple of days, couple of weeks, possibly a couple of months, which obviously would not be great if you had a game that came out right around that time. So again, I know that wasn't crazy information coming from Bloomberg and Jason Schreier, but we did get some interesting nuggets right there, and this is all coming around a time where we would have thought by now we would have heard something from Rockstar Games about GTA 6. And as we're on the verge of a new Grand Theft Auto Online update, maybe there'll be some hints and clues in there, or maybe before the new year, Rockstar will indeed share something. I guess only time will tell. At least the good news is if we are expecting something in this calendar year, we don't have to wait long. But let me know what you think about this information in those comments down below about Grand Theft Auto 6. Do you think it will hold its fall 2025 release date? What do you think of Rockstar Games changing their writing style and other video game developers moving their games out of the way? I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the GTA 6 videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.